Hey mom, hey dad, your baby has grown big. You should be excited. But sadly, I can see the gloominess on your face because perhaps you've seen her grow bigger than you expected right in your own home. I am your precious baby. You nurtured me so well that I am alive. You saw me take my first step while staggering like a drunkard. And every time I tried to lift my right leg to walk, my left leg never got the message it was time to move, so I'll trip and fall all over again. And whenever I fell, I tried looking around me to search for you as to why you didn't help me stand firm while I was staggering. And even though you were right there, you quickly carried away your face, pretending not to see me, and then I tried to get up by myself with my disappointment in you. All you wanted to do was for me to discover how to stand firm by myself in the many failed steps that I took. But what you didn't know was as you were teaching me all that, I was also drifting far away from you and learning my independence, and that if you can't help me stand, then no one else but me would. And then while I was beginning to enjoy the sweet milk that comes from your breast, you quickly snatched it away from me, and you helped me transition from feeding on mere milk into eating meat. And many times when I almost got choked on the meat, thinking I was going to die, you still fed me more than I could handle because you wanted me to learn. I had spent more than enough time being a baby, and it was now time to grow up. But what you didn't know was that alongside that lesson, you were also teaching me to survive in this cruel world filled with a lot of evils, and plotting was entirely up to me. The sorrows, the worries, and the pain would choke me up, and if I didn't fight my way through, I'd die. And then when you saw that you couldn't take me everywhere you went any longer, and I was now a woman who could start producing other humans, you felt it was time to give me out to the one who would now be my crown and strength, one who would now wear the cap of my responsibility and hold me so that I don't fall, and put me in my own home, where I can also begin to nurture yet another generation. But what you didn't also know was that while you were also teaching me to lean on a man, I found yet another greater man who was going to be my all in all after all. You wanted me to be with a man, but I have found the man, a mystery you cannot unravel. And then you began to wonder, if I have found the man, then why am I still living in your own home and haven't started nursing my own children? So you told me one morning, since you have found a man, why don't you go to him? You could no longer harbor me any longer. After all, I've been eating meat longer than you expected in your own home. And then, anytime I called on my dad, he didn't answer. And when I called on my mom, she was no longer there. Hence, the home I called mine has now become so strange, and suddenly doesn't feel like home any longer. So mom, dad, I'm leaving home today. This was not how we all planned it to be. We had always thought that the day I'd finally leave home would be the day I'd be exchanged with the price of dowry and of cola by a man on the street of clay and dust. But my price was way higher than that. It was a price of a blood for a blood and a life for a life. That price had already been paid by the man on the streets of gold and immortality. But my whole life cannot be summed up as being married to a man as the ultimate price for my existence. I was born a price, first as a single entity and then as a whole carrying a deity inside of me. I am the price, complete and all by myself, not an empty barrel or a wretched lone ranger or a delirious being. I tried to explain it to you, but you seem not to understand it. So mama, I packed my bags. I'm leaving town. I brought a one-way ticket. I ain't coming back. I'm heading for the city, And that's my new home now. And goodbye, Papa. Please don't cry. See, I can't stay. Don't ask me why, even though I've got no money. Just hopes and dreams. I'm gonna find my destiny. I heard about life in the city. So that's where all the dreams come true. I'm gonna work hard in the city. So wish me well. I'm gonna be a very famous superstar. I'm gonna drive a big old fancy car and fly my own plane all across the world. And when the time is right, I'll find myself a man. But first, let me find myself in the man who abides inside of me.